Hey mama, could you get up soon? I get so cold in the other room. Here I am, honey, half awake. Get yourself moving and you'll be okay.
Hi friends, welcome back to Lemon Tree Corner. I'm your host Heather, and we do crafty things here: sewing, crocheting, adult coloring books, all that kind of fun stuff. So welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you're not new here. We've had quite a jump in subscribers, so thank you very much for finding my channel, hitting the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Our next goal is to get up to 2,000 subscribers, so I will be making and giving away a bag when we get up to that number. So hopefully that'll hit after the show we're preparing for. So right now we are preparing for a show in August that I'm doing at the Knitting Tree LA. She does a Rhinebeck West show, which coincides with the Rhinebeck Festival in New York, which is very crafty, fiber festival going on there. So we are making project bags. We are right in the middle. We already made the large project bag, the drawstring bag, the squishy bag, and now we're making the smaller bag. So we just finished up doing all the bags with the original fabric, and now we're going to take all of these pieces of leftover fabrics and make them into smaller bags. So first up is the sock pyramid pouch. I make a sock pyramid pouch, which is based on this pattern, the Atlantic pouch. I'm not going to do a two-toned outer part. I'm just going to do one piece of fabric, but this is the basic gist. I also add a little finger loop onto the side. You can add a wristlet strap or something like that as well. So this is a pattern by Needle and Anchor Patterns, and I will link this down below for you. I can't remember if she has a tutorial, but if she does, I'll link that as well. And I've set aside, I think, 2 weeks to do all of these because there's so many bags. If we get them done sooner, then we will move on to the other ones. So we've got the sock pyramid pouch, we've got the kitty pouches we're going to make, and some piggies because that's been requested, so I am going to make some piggies. And we've also got the coin purses and the notions pouches and the sachets. So that's what's left to make for the show. I'm hoping to get through all of that before we get to the show. So we'll start with these because they take the larger piece of fabric. I start with a 10 or a 10.5 inch square. I'll have to look back and see. And so we got to make sure we have enough lining fabric for that. With these bags, I tend to buy a yard each of the lining and the exterior fabric, and then I don't use as much of the exterior fabric. So really, moving forward, what I should be doing is buying a yard of the exterior fabric and 2 yards of the lining fabric. That way I'll have plenty of lining fabric left over for these smaller bags when we get to them. So the idea at this point is to measure the pieces I have left over, see if I can get a 10-inch square out of them, and the lining especially. And if we can do that, we're going to make a sock pyramid pouch. Now I don't need a ton of these. This is a smaller show than the last one I did. I think I made 12 to 16 of these size bags and they sold out. So what I would like to do is make at least 12 to 16 of these bags before moving on to the smaller bags. So we will see what we can get out. We've got 2 stacks of fabric left over from these projects, so I'm sure we can get that. And then after the 10-inch will come like the kitty pouch and the notions pouch and that kind of thing. And I don't think I need as many of those, so we will be conservative in our makes for those. And then for the piggies, I was thinking of going back to M&L Fabrics and getting some Christmas fabrics. I didn't have enough time to make Christmas bags for this show, which I thought would be really good, but we've just kind of ran out of time for that. So I was thinking Christmas piggies would be fun. So we will go back to M&L Fabrics. And also, once I inventory all of this fabric, I'll see if I need some generic like lining fabrics that I can get for fall that just kind of go with a lot of these bags. We can get that at that time as well. So that's the plan for this week. Oh, and we finished our sweater. I say finished, it's not actually finished because I have to weave in all the ends and add a border to the bottom, but we have finished the sleeves. They're kind of short right now, but I feel like they're gonna, well, I can kind of pull them down to this length. So I think that'll be good. Yeah, just gotta sew in the ends, block it, all that fun stuff, and then we are back to our green sweater, which I am on, well, maybe like the last 30% of that. So coming along nicely, which is nice, which is fun to have this. Hopefully I will have this where I can wear to work this semester, which would be really great. So that's what we have coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'll take a few clips of College Day to share with you, and then we'll also be taking a tour of the employee Disney store. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and grab yourself a water or an iced tea, iced coffee, whatever's gonna keep you cool. Get comfortable and let's make some bags. Okay, we received our twill tape in the mail. This doesn't look like 10 yards to me, but maybe it is. We've got our red and just have to figure out which one we want to use the red with. So I've already got the brown made up, and we've got our 2 bags. I think the red is definitely going to pop better on that one. So we'll do the brown on this one, and we'll make the red for these, and then these can go in the container. And we'll keep these for future. Yeah, I just figured the natural is always good to have. And the olive green and the red I'm thinking will be good for holiday bags at some point. So I figured I would save getting 10 yards of those. And they didn't have any navy. These are the 3 colors they had. So she's here in California, and I was trying to avoid the huge shipping bill. So that's why we chose this seller. One other thing I forgot to mention at the end of last week is I did actually change where I'm sewing these. This one I think I messed up. This one, so I was doing it 3/8 from the fold and it was kind of tight. So I went to 1/4, and not a scant fourth but an actual fourth, and that's a good measurement. This one for some reason I did a scant fourth, so that is not what I was going for. Definitely gives you a little bit more leeway. My safety pin here was getting stuck in the space at the end. So just wanted to give myself a little bit more play. We got fun mail. Here are the zippers that I get from My Handmade Space, which is actually a US company. What the company I was thinking of when I ordered was Emmeline Bags. They're who I normally get my hardware from. And they're in Canada. So, yeah. I was going to check this hardware because obviously with what's going on right now, it would be better if I didn't have to order from Canada. And these do look comparable. They're a little skinnier than the hardware I have now. But I like the skinnier hardware because the ones I have now are a little too chonky for the size bags, especially like this 3/4 inch hardware. It looks way too chonky. Okay, so we got, they had the green on green, but I've never seen this one, which is the green with the silver. And I always like having my fun pulls, so I figured I would rather have one with the metallic zipper. These are new pulls in a little hexagon. I thought they'd be fun. I like to order different types of pulls because, like, especially with silver, I mix and match these with different bags. So just kind of separate the hardware out there. And then I got another red because we've got Christmas coming up at some point. So I got green and red. And I got these in the bronze, but I never got these in the silver. So this is like a heart within a circle, which is fun. And then we've got our 2 rainbow colors, which are fun. They're rainbow. Those 2, and I just got the circle pulls and the square pulls. So just a nice variety. And then, since they didn't have any more fall things, and I know that we're going to be doing these bags right now with the fall colors, I went ahead and ordered a pack. So these are a pack. They all have the bronze bronze pull. And then I did find more of the leaves. So we've got the really pretty bronze leaves we're gonna add. So I think I will use these for the sock pyramid bags. And then, yeah, I think the kitties and everything else is gonna use our smaller zippers. So we will use these for the sock bags. Well, it took me a couple days to get back to this project. It's been busy. I always block out how busy the week before school is, but it has been crazy. So we're gonna get back to this. I'm just gonna go through and measure and make sure that I've got what is it, 10-inch squares. So I'm gonna make sure I have at least a 10-inch square of the lining in the exterior. And then I really only need, geez, at most like 16 of these. So I'm just gonna make a pile of all of them that I have enough fabric for. And then that way we can see what our options are. I believe this is the same. I said they weren't the same originally, but I believe they are the same. So I know I have enough for this one. Definitely want the Hocus Pocus. And this would be a fun one as well. And then any of these that we don't do the sock pyramid bag with, we're definitely doing the smaller, you know, the coin purse or something with. So I just need to make sure I have enough. Like this one, I do not. Don't even have enough of this fabric, but they should have enough for like a coin purse. So we'll see. Well, I got so wrapped up at the Disney store that I completely forgot to film, so I will give you a haul instead. It was kind of chaotic because there were a lot of people there. I guess it turns out we picked a friends and family day, didn't realize that. So we're all running around trying to get stuff. So first of all, my sister and I got matching Haunted Mansion bags. I'm probably going to either shorten the handle or make a new handle for myself. And it's got this really pretty lining. So that's fun. And yes, the irony is not lost on me that I make bags and I still buy bags. I do buy bags once in a while. Especially $20 Disney Loungefly bag. Sure am. Okay, and then we got a really pretty long sleeve shirt. I don't have a lot of long sleeve shirts, so this will be nice anytime I want to go like on a walk or something and want some sun protection. That's good for that. If we're going through Disneyland, like an actual Disneyland day, I would wear this as well. And then I've always wanted a Disneyland sweatshirt, but they're always so expensive. So I actually managed to find a zipper sweatshirt, which is nice. It's white, which is not my favorite, but I don't have a white sweatshirt. And then we've got this, the gorgeous castle on the back, and Disneyland Resort down the side. So very fun, thanks to my niece for the Christmas present. It was fun to spend the morning with her. She had to go to work, so wasn't able to do lunch with us, but my sister and I did lunch, and then we also went to Michael's. So let me show you what I got. Just finished that sweater, and you know, I got a million skeins of yarn lined up to make some one skein projects with, but am I going to do that next? Of course not. So I just watched a Fiberflex video with this cute pattern, which I will put up here. I'm going to make that next, so that's going to be fun. I got some Karen cakes at Michael's. So this is a blossom cake. It's got like a nice halo to it. It's a really pretty kind of fall color. So I figure I'm going to make it as a fall scarf. And it's 100% acrylic. Oh no, it's not. 21% cotton and 39% acrylic. I didn't even look at the fiber content. This is similar to the yarn I bought for the fall blanket that we're going to start at some point. But it is different. It's definitely shedding a lot. So my pants are covered with shed right now. I did get a different type of their cake for the blanket, so I'm hoping it's not going to shed as much as this does. But 2 cakes of that. I don't even know that I'm going to need 2 cakes because it looks awfully long, so we might not be making this as long, which means whatever I have left over I can make for somebody else. It's kind of a DK weight, but I'm using a 6mm hook instead of the recommended 5. And I did try, oh, it is a 6mm hook recommended. Never mind, it is a 6. So I tried a 5 and a 5.5 and settled on the 6. So that's where we're at with that. What I really like about these smaller projects is I get to use up all my scraps. So I basically got all of the handle pieces out of my stack of scraps that I have here. A lot of these are just going to be big enough for the sachets at the end, but we can go through all of these pieces for our scraps up until then and see how much we can use up. So that's great. We have all of our interfacing cut. I'm going to go ahead and starch that one piece and then start attaching all the interfacing. We are back at the ironing board. I have a huge bundle of things. I've literally been sitting here for at least 4 hours ironing all this on. We've got 2 more bags to go after this one, and I've got a lot of pieces left, so I think I miscounted when I was cutting pieces out. So it's Saturday, it's 4 o'clock, and this ain't getting done today. I'm gonna get all the SF-101 on the pieces today, but we've still got to iron all of our handles and pieces. We've got to iron our zipper tabs. We have to pick out our zippers and our zipper pulls. So yeah, I'm not getting very far today, which is why I'm very glad that past Heather scheduled 2 weeks for this stuff, for these bags. I'm hoping to get a few done tomorrow just to show you. So what I think I'm going to do is split this up. I'm going to pull a few out to make this week. We'll pick zippers out, we'll make the bags, and I'll have something to show you at the end of this video. And then the rest of it we will do next week. We also need to switch over all of our design board and our shelf over here with some fall decor would be nice. And I don't have time for it this week, but sometime in the next couple of weeks I would love to make some sort of apple-y treat or pumpkin-y treat for us to have together, just because we're getting towards that time. Of course, it's 90 degrees here in Los Angeles, but I would like to kind of manifest some fall vibes, so we'll do that. I already have a few things, if you can spot them in the outro, that I picked up at Michael's recently that I'm very proud of myself. I did not buy what was it? Last month when we went to Michael's, I saw them and I wanted them, but I waited, so I got them for like 20% off, 30% off, something like that. So I was very pleased with myself that I managed to wait. First things first, before I pick out all the zippers for these sock bags, I want to make sure I secure the zipper for my own bag. You would think blue would be a good option, so I will not rule that out, but I wanted to take a look at all of the zippers we currently have, because I think I had my eye on this one, which doesn't quite go. We've got all our new zippers, which I think one of these might look better. Yeah, my peach and apricot zippers only have the silver coils, so we are going to go with the orange. I'm going to need 18 inches for that zipper. Very glad that I make YouTube videos, because I didn't write down half of the stuff I did when I made these the first time. So I was able to look back through the video and find out what I did, but I did not write down how big the opening was or where the tab goes. So we'll have to figure that out and write it down this time so that I have it from here on out. So we're just gonna do our normal top stitching for our zipper. We're gonna install the zipper just like we do for every other zipper pouch, and then the only thing that's different is going to be the bottom. So we'll stop when we get to the bottom and talk about that. Now here's where we have to make a decision. My gut is telling me to make this a 3/8 seam allowance, because we have little things like this where the lining is a little further over. It's just going to cover up, it's going to fix a lot of problems for me if we do 3/8. So let's just go ahead and make that decision now on the first one, and this whole batch will be the same. So the only problem with making it 3/8 is that it's going to be a little different. It's not going to be 9.5 inches finished, it's going to be 9 1/4. And then I'm going to double stitch the bottom. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. We have to go the other way. Okay, so now we have fully open, right? Fully open. And we're gonna tilt it. So this is what makes the pyramid of the pyramid bag. I'm gonna nest this seam here at the bottom. Oh boy, my brain is just not here today. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we're gonna nest that seam at the bottom. We're gonna double stitch this exterior bottom. Super cute. Okay, I think that's good. You can't get your whole wrist in there, but it would look comically large if it was any longer than that. Very cool. Okay, so just need to make sure that I taper when I go up to when I sew past the zipper tabs. Alrighty, first one done. Let's do the other ones.
rainbow alongside our incredible, talented LBCC dancers.
That's it for another week. Let's take a look at our finished bags. I've got my Disneyland sweatshirt on, or my Disneyland long sleeve shirt on. It's a little big, but it was either this or like one that's too small. So I'm thinking it'll shrink over time, but if nothing else, at least it's comfy. So we got 4 bags done. Yay! So we've got the Magic Kitties, this beautiful fabric, which is the only bag you can get in this fabric because I have the original bag that I used that fabric for. And then we've got our 2 other ones. So I was able to attach all of the fusible fleece that I forgot about. So get that cut out and attached. I'm gonna pick 5 more to make next week. And since next week is the same bag, we'll add in some more things. I'll show you a little bit of highlights from the first week of school. We'll also redo our inspiration board and our shelf here. So look forward to that for some fall vibes. Since I am filming this ahead, by the time you see that video, we'll be very close to the to the equinox. So that'll be some nice content for us coming into mid-September. So I think I'm going to give myself the rest of the day off just to relax. Maybe pick out some zippers for the next ones. But yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to get through during the weeknights because it is a crazy week next week. So probably not get that far into it. And then I also want to plan out some more fall stuff. So we still have to go to M&L Fabrics, which probably won't happen until the one after that. And also want to go to World Market, see what they have. I love the idea. We saw this this Halloween village at Michael's, and obviously I can't afford that. But I would love to get like some little haunted houses or something for the shelf for Halloween. I think would be fun. I'll have to have my husband get the fall stuff out of the garage so that we can decorate. And then maybe we can get back to our fall blankets. So I've got 2 fall blankets now. We haven't even finished the spring blanket. I'll probably save that for next spring again. But we've got the big giant granny square that we started. It's a special square. It's not just a granny square. It's a special square. So we've got that one on the go, and then I have the new one that I want to start, which I think is a granny, some sort of granny stripe thing. I can't remember what pattern it was now. I'll have to go find that and print it out. But yeah, I'm kind of anxious to start a new blanket. Oh, and then we started a scarf as well. So I got this gorgeous cake from Michael's, actually 2 of them. So we are doing this beautiful pattern, which is a fiber flex pattern. Helps if I have everything ready. So this is the Mountain Morning Crochet Scarf. Very pretty. And it's pretty easy to do. It's just single crochet, double crochet. single crochet, double crochet. It makes this really nice pattern. It's just kind of hard to get started because you got to really concentrate single crochet, double crochet until you get it down. And then you can see that from the stitch, from the row before, you can tell which stitch you do next. And we're making that using the Karen Blossom Cake. And this is the colorway Rose. So very pretty, very fall colors. I want to go ahead and make that now before we get back to our green sweater. And then we've got another sweater and then the Galatea top. We got a lot going on, but I think it's manageable. This yarn is a little halo-y, a little sheddy, so you kind of get it on your clothes and your nose. So I'm really hoping that I get used to this. This is the same type of yarn we have for our new fall blanket. It's not the Blossom Cake, so it's a macchiato cake, so it doesn't have as much of a halo. So I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy working with that. But that's what we have going on next week. So thank you for joining me. We are getting up there. We're like at 19, 20 subscribers all of a sudden. So thank you for sharing the video and getting it out there to more people. My sister found this button called Hype This Video. So if you're interested, if you're watching from your phone, you can go to where it has the like, share buttons down at the bottom of the video and arrow over, and there's a Hype This Video. And I guess you can hype 3 videos in a certain amount of time. So I would really appreciate it if you would do that for me. It gets me in front of more people, and yeah, we're really getting out there now. So it's really nice to have all the newcomers here. We'll be changing up the content a little bit after this show. I have to kind of envision how I'm approaching next year, and we might be buying a house. Huh? So that's exciting news. We got to get all of our ducks in a row and get pre-approved for who knows how much, and then we're getting some help. So hopefully we'll be able to afford a house in this area. And yeah, in anticipation of that, and the coming, who knows what's going on with the economy, and if anybody's going to be able to afford to buy a bag, if I'm going to be able to afford to buy supplies for a bag, yeah. So I really have to think about next year. I'm still gonna, I think what we're gonna do is make a bag, post a bag kind of thing. So we'll make some bags, post them in the web shop, advertise that, and then it'll just be a ongoing restock of the website. I don't know if I'm doing any shows next year. Obviously, if we're moving, I don't want to stress myself out by committing to a show and then having to move my entire life into a new place. So it's a very exciting prospect, and I'm very, very happy that we get to go look for houses. So first thing is getting our ducks in a row, getting the loan pre-approved, finding a real estate agent. So if you know of a good real estate agent in the LA area, please drop it in the comments. I would be happy to find somebody that you like, that has integrity, and that's just a good person that could use the commission. So would be happy to help that person out. Oh, that's a lot going on. So on that note, I just want to thank you all for being here, for hyping me up, and we're getting out there, which is really fun. And welcome to anybody who's new. I've got a, 3 years? 3 years worth of content that you can go back and watch to your heart's desire. You can search on my channel if you're looking for a specific bag. You can type in crossbody, coin purse, like whatever you're looking to make. You can type that in, and there's a video of me making it, I'm sure. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I hope that you remember that you are precious and beautiful, and I love you. See you next week, friends. Bye.